Most of you have already probably seen these batch of photos for the Lpzz Arkham Knight Batman, which is seemingly around the corner from across various marketplaces, storefronts online that were offering pre-orders. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them were advertising this guy to be released in Q2 of 2025. Now, unfortunately, Q2 of 2025 technically ended earlier this week at the end of January. So officially, we are now in Q3. There were a couple of sites that, just to cover their bases, marked this for being released in Q3 of 2025. So they're still safe. But the ones that did say Q2 2025, now they're probably going to have to officially issue out emails saying that this guy's been technically delayed. Now, even if they send out notices saying, oh yeah, this guy's been delayed, it's still possible that literally we can enter next week or the week after, and they're like, and out of nowhere, Lpzz is like, hey, here's our allocation. We're getting ready to ship. Start invoicing people to pay off the rest of their pre-orders, of which I have one with Bombasby. I have a pre-order with Bombasby, so we'll see how that unfolds. But yeah, these photos are looking mighty nice, and thankfully my fears out of those other photos where they kind of soften off the face and the body sculpt was looking a little iffy have thankfully been placated, because thankfully after seeing some of these photos, it's looking quite nice. So the point where even some shots, even this one, he definitely looks a little, it's softer than the first batch of photos from the prototype, but it's then looking a little harder than that softer, like, in-hand photo or in-person photo that somebody took at like a show that was worrying me. This looks better than that. It doesn't look as good as the first prototype photos, but it's like a nice little in-between where I'm like, all right, I see more of the Rocksteady render that we saw in game than that last photo that we saw that was, like I said, scaring me. So I'm like, all right, now we're talking. Now we're looking pretty nice. And then other shots like this, or the one where he's holding, or even that one where he's holding the helmet, and this one. This is one of the shots. This one combined with this one and this one. If I take like a little bit of a step back and look at some of these pics, I could almost think that I'm looking at a render from the game until I see the joints and I see the white background. And then I see the grapple gun or whatever this thing is. This guy's just straight up different shades of black, silver, and the only bits of color you get is the utility belt, which makes sense, and the skin tone. But the changes in texture work, like some of the stuff you're seeing on the abdomen, and I guess to kind of further, hammer home the point that this is very likely getting set for release, is that there's already some in-hand reviews up on YouTube in Chinese from what I'm imagining are some Chinese residents that managed to get in hand, either Chinese collectors or storefronts, people who run their own shop, etc., that are already covering it in like a 10 to 15 minute video in Chinese on YouTube. And I'm like, oh shit. And when I say YouTube, I mean YouTube indirectly, because they likely posted on like Bilibili or something, and then somebody rips it and posted it on YouTube somehow. But yeah, this is looking mighty nice, and like I said, this is one of the shots that kind of surprised me. So yeah, that was cool. And I'm definitely looking forward to it.